Jai Hind everyone. My name is Aman Gupta. I am working as an assistant professor in MCE department in Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College. So my subject is privacy and security in online social media whose subject code is KCA 031. So today we are going to cover the topic trust management in online social networks. So let's start. First of all, what is trust? A person have a trust in another person that uh, a person can totally depend on the other person. It is called the trust. So on in online social networks constitutes nowadays essential services in their lives. So users are willingly to voluntarily disclose huge amount of their personal data on the online social media. We post our personal photos, our personal data, our date of birth, mobile number, mail id, very frequently on and shared our personal data on that online social networks very frequently. So aware we also aware of the risk and threats associated with all the online activities that we are doing, but unless we know the risk, but we are eager to share our personal data on these platforms. So this phenomena goes under the name of privacy paradox. So it is motivated by the fact that users tend to trust other community members with expertise, that we as a person who is spending our time on online social media have trust on other person also, that the data where what we shared on that medium is secure. So we have some experts of these fields who have similar interest disclose their identity, and in general for the set of social or economic advantages they can obtain. So on the basis of that trust we share our data on these online social networks. So different aspects are taken into account when reasoning about the trust in online social networks, its properties and all the components where we have the trust and on which the trust has been built. So the strength of ties connecting users as well as connection between the social traits is basically dependent on the trust that has been developed between the persons who spending their time on online social networks. So these are some trust properties that we are going to discuss. First of all, trust is subjective. So it means that whatever opinion is given by a subject, it can be evaluated by any other individual. A person can give his own views on some subject as an individual, and due to this, the personal nature of trust, there is no correct or incorrect value. Means the perspective of see that situation can be different for two different individuals. Same situation is can be evaluated differently with the perspective of two individual persons. So from the perspective of a given individual, so the subjective nature of trust also plays a crucial role in calculating trust recommendations by affecting the accuracy of the recommendation. So the person who is going to give feedback on particular subject is particularly dependent on the perspective of that particular individual only. Now next one is the trust is dynamic. So trust is dynamic. It can be increased with time or it can be decreased with the time, and the experience with the other person that we have on different events. So that is called the trust is dynamic. We can't say that the trust between two persons remains same for all life. Maybe I can trust the my friend um, for a time being, but after some circumstances or after a small event that he lost his trust, or he broke my trust, then maybe in future I may not be able to have trust on him or her. So that means that trust is dynamic. New experiences are usually considered more important than old ones, because old ones become old in our memory, and they become obsolete and irrelevant with the time, but the new experiences remain fresh in our mind, and we said that he is doing some that thing with me or this thing with me. So this thing or this new memories, new experiences become uh, n- relevant with the time. Now next one is the trust is asymmetric. When two individuals involved in a relationship, trust is not necessarily identical in both directions. Suppose one individual is going to trust with the whole heart that he never broke his trust, but this is not the same case for the other person. Maybe he is not have that much type of trust on that person. So that is called, this is connected to the subjective nature of trust, that is for each individual, built upon personal experiences. Each person, if two persons, A and B, these are two individuals, maybe A has complete trust on B, but it is also possible that B doesn't have he have confidence or trust in A, but not totally. He has 100% trust, but maybe B has only 50% of trust in A. So it is uh, dependent upon the experiences that B have with A, or with the personal experience and maybe its psychological backgrounds. Next one is the trust is context dependent also. So trust is closely associated with the overall context or situations. It is dependent upon the situations. So one may trust another enough to lead the person a pencil, but may find the person hard to trust with a laptop. So maybe the trust is for a small thing. He can give a small thing to that person, that he's if he return that thing, it's okay. If he keep that thing, it is also okay. But if in the matter of a huge amount of thing like laptop, maybe his trust is not that much of amount, we can say. Next one is the trust is personalized. It is also dependent upon a person to person. So we can call this that trust is personalized. So trust is a subjective point of view. Two parties have very different opinions about the trustworthiness of the same person. So every person can have different opinion about the other person, or maybe other thing or other situation. So this, we can say, trust is very much personalized. It is a personal thing, that if I have trust on the person or on my friend, so it is not necessary that my family or my mother or my father have this much of trust on my friend. So, for example, a nation may be divided into groups, sorry, that is strongly support the political party in charge, and groups who would strongly disagree. So, opinions are also there, that somebody likes BJP, somebody like Congress, and he is in a strong opposition of other party. So, it is a nature of thing that the every person have their own personalized opinion about the other thing. Now we have different type of trust evaluation models, on the basis of what we can evaluate the trust. So in online social network, it is very new field of research, and research approaches in this field can be essentially classified to the way they consider the structure of social network, and also on the interaction about the users or participants that uh, spend their time on online social media. So first structure is the structure based trust models. We have structure based trust models, and they are taking into account only the structural properties of the social network. We will discuss in detail all these models later. Next one is the interaction based trust models. So we consider this model when we have to work on different perspectives of interaction among users in the online social network. Third one is the hybrid based trust models. As the name suggests, hybrid is the combination of upper two models, that is structure based and interaction based, and it works that tend to take into consideration both the aspects and techniques of structure based trust models and interaction based trust models. So models that exploit the social network structure in evaluating trust have been developed based on the concept of web of trust, because all these apps or networks that we are working upon is based upon the trust, because we individuals share our personal data on these platforms with the trust that nobody are going to misuse our data, misuse our personal data for their for harm us or for benefit of their in any way. They cannot use our data in wrong way. So in these models, a trust network is created for each member that I as an individual member have a trust that we have some relationship as individuals are working as nodes and particular nodes, and these relationship between two persons are the edges. So social networks as nodes, individual members are representing as nodes, and the amount of trust he has for each of them as edges. So measuring increases in both in degree and out degree of any two members, and the level of trust a member can have in another is measured. So this person in degree and out degree, it can be measured. So in general, receiving information from members with a higher in degree increases the level of trust. If this person have higher this person, a person has higher in degree of trust, so this increases the level of trust. Is this person is most trustworthy. So members with a higher out degree have higher level of trust. Levels of trust increases if members direct their ties more towards members with higher out degrees. So in this case, the level of trust always increases. Now next one is the interaction based trust evaluation models. So models considering only trust, that is not distrust. So include the observation that a user trusts another user either because of its good reputation, because they have a good interaction between two users. The when two individuals, suppose I saw a picture of my friend on online social network, and I send him or her a message, that nice pic, or maybe another where are you from, yeah, this type of any comments that I posted on his or her photo. So this made a interaction between me and my friend. Maybe I know him friend, or maybe any stranger whom I want to talk or whom I want to chat. So this made a level of interaction between me and the other person. So action of individual users may define the trust evaluation model and interaction between the pairs of users. So this is the interaction based trust evaluation model, and it is totally uh, uh, comprises of the, means made up of the interactions between the two users. Now it divides set of trust factors into two major categories, that is user factors refer to the features associated with a given user who can be either a truster or the trustee. There are two persons. One is truster who is trusting another person, and trustee who have trust on another person. So this is called the user factors, and the other category composed of the interaction factors, and it refers to the features that is associated with the interaction that occurs between a pair of users in the truster and trustee roles. So this is the composed of interaction factors. Now the last one is the hybrid trust evaluation model. In this model, it use both the models, that is structural based and interaction based, and it is used to compute the trust on the social media, or we can say it as the social trust. So this model supports two complementary approaches for social trust establishment. That is, first is called the explicit social trust, that is based on network structure, and second one is the implicit social trust, that is based on the users interaction in the network. One is the explicit and next one is the implicit. So first we explain explicit social trust, that it relies on the consciously established social ties. So if every time when two users interact with each other, they exchange their friend list and save them as friendship graphs. So maybe I have some friends and my friend also have some friends in spite of me. So that is the, we can save them as friendship graphs. So trust is calculated on the friendship graph with direct link with my friend or friend having the highest trust value of 1. So who have the highest trust, then its value is always 1. So as the number of links between two users grows, trust decreases proportionately. So if the links between two users grows, trust decreases proportionately. The if links between two users increases always, then its trust will going to decrease. And implicit trust is based upon the frequency and duration of contact between two users. So implicit is based on frequency and also on the duration, that how frequently they contacted each other, 2 days, 4 days, in a week, in a month, in a year, and duration, that when we talk to each other on chat or messages each other, then for what duration we are interact with each other. It's always depend upon that. It is called as the implicit trust. Now there is a question that how can we prevent our privacy on the online social media. It is a very important part, that as we are as we very frequently shared our data on that type of platforms, it is very necessary to secure our data on these type of platforms. So for this we have some points to be taken care. That is, first of all, read and understand the privacy terms. Whenever we are going to start or we are log in or sign up on any type of social media apps, first of all we need to read all the security features, or all the agreement points that we are I agree. Actually we are not actually read all that points and tick I agree and then next and submit. But Actually, for the security purpose, it is very essential that we read these points and understand all the privacy terms, then log into any account. Second one is the site features. We should understand that with what type of features the websites that we are going to start or we are going to use, what features are going to provided by that site. It is very important to understand. Adjust your privacy settings. It is also a very important part that if we are going to share any type of data or photo or video, it is also very important that we manage our data using the access control that has been provided, and we know how to use that type of access control. Suppose we have to post any photo, we should know that it should be seen by anybody. We can have the public feature, public drop down. We have to, can check public feature or category. We can have a friend list, or we can have friend of friend. So we should um, taken care that to whom we are sharing our personal data, and these type of features have always have been provided in any type of app, but we didn't take care of all these things, but we should take care of all these things. Second one is the biographical information. We should always take care of account information. We should take care of account information, all the financial details, etc. Friends or contacts, we should be very careful when we are choosing our friends on online social media, that we know them or not. We should we should be very careful. Turn off your location. Always turn off your location. Whenever needed, you can turn it on, but it is important that in general you have to be turn off your location. Be careful about posting photos online. Always be care, take care that what you are posting on the social media, what type of photos, what type of videos, what type of information you are sharing. You should be very careful, because anybody who wants to harm you can misuse your data very frequently, can access your data, can extract your data from these online social media. You don't know that how can he misuse your data, or hacker going to misuse your data. Avoid clickbait. Never click on any type of links that have been provided for any sponsored links. Avoid these type of clicks or links to click. Now there are some security tips for privacy on online social media. So first of all, always choose a strong secure password. Use different passwords on all your different social media accounts. Always use different passwords, and also change your passwords frequently. That in 1 month you are changing your password in all applications. Avoid logging into public computers or using friends' phones to log into your social media accounts. Always use caution with public wireless connections when accessing your social media accounts. Avoid using public or shared devices to access your social media accounts. And also avoid clicking on social media links that have been provided, even the ones sent to by your friend, because your friend also don't know that where it links come from. So never trust in that to your friend also, on your friend also. So these are some tips for privacy on online social media. That's all for today. Thank you.